All right, so on January 10th, 2025, a movie got released called Den of Thieves Pantera, or Den of Thieves 2, or Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. You might not really like the title, it does make sense. It's the sequel to Den of Thieves, the 2008 sleeper hit about a group of thieves in LA that was a sleeper hit. It's a fun romp. It's a little too long at 2 hours and 20 minutes, but everybody's having a blast. It's kind of a stacked cast, not super high A-listers, but Gerard Butler was in it, 50 Cent, O'Shea Jackson, and some other people that, I mean, fit this type of movie. It's an action kind of throwback movie, and it's fun. And so a sequel was greenlit because it was popular, and it was profitable, and it was a hit for STX distribution. But then things went quickly south as STX went under, and the sequel didn't have a distributor. And so now we're at Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. It got released. How is that? Well, the positives are Lionsgate came in and picked up distribution rights, and they actually released it. They delayed it a couple times because they just had disastrous performance at the box office in 2024. 8 straight movies that not only had bad reviews, but lost a lot of money. We're looking at you, Borderlands, Megalopolis, although that might have actually made money for Lionsgate because they didn't finance it. So they're not on the hook for a lot of their terrible movie releases. But it's good that they released it. It got a release. It was over 3,000 theaters, and it made about as much money as the original because it's a serviceable movie and it's got some good performances. And this is the kind of movie Gerard Butler, it's right in his wheelhouse. He's kind of made for this. He's got his Fallen series, he's got his Greenland series, and this movie sets up for more in the series. Hopefully it doesn't take 7 years before we get Den of Thieves 3 South Africa, or Den of Thieves 3 Antarctica. Maybe we'll get Den of Thieves 10 Gone to Space, but Fast and Furious has already done that. This is kind of Fast and Furious like. Also, on a positive note, this has good locations. However, cons on this are the locations aren't LA, or rather, LA is in it, but barely, because it follows the same template as the original. So you got the setup, which requires some LA, because that's where Big Nick is. And then you've got where the thieves are, where the Den of Thieves are. It's a new den with some old character. Also, this movie somehow is longer than the original at 2 hours and 24 minutes. These things need to be a little shorter. There's some filler in the original that you stream it, put it on the TV, and you kind of can gloss over some parts, go to the bathroom, whatever. So this is the same kind of thing. Also, this movie follows the same template. So if you like the original, you'll like this. Other kind of aspects with this, since it's in Europe now, it's not a spoiler, it's in the trailers. That's where the Pantera thing comes from. The returning character, O'Shea Jackson, his French accent it sounds like an American expat trying to speak French. I mean, it didn't seem like that's what his character should have been going for. So it takes you out of it a little bit. Also, the movie has a little too many twists. Like I said, it's 2 hours and 24 minutes. There seem to be 1, 2, 3, maybe too many. You follow the template, there's a twist, but then there were more and more. I don't know exactly how many. Maybe there were 5, maybe there were 3. Anyway, this is falling out of theaters fast. It opened at about 600 more theaters than the original. It actually opened to less than the original by about 20,000. So it's about exactly on par. Domestic. Internationally, it's making less than the original one. So it's not going to be as profitable. But it's a different distributor, different model, different environment. It sets up for a sequel, so there might be one. It's definitely worth checking out on streaming. I mean, if it's at a dollar theater or a discount theater, it's an enjoyable movie. It's in the top 10 for movies in 2025 right now, top 10 in January movies. It's kind of average, though. It's a nice January movie, but there's going to be much better movies coming out, and there are also a lot of worse movies in January. So it's sort of a meh movie, an average movie, enjoyable but not great. But then again, what are you expecting from a Gerard Butler movie about a bunch of thieves with a confusing title to some? So enjoy, watch it on streaming, check it out. Hope for a sequel because Gerard Butler's good in it. He chooses scenery, and the cigar is like no other guy. This is sort of like his franchise. This is to him as Taken is to Liam Neeson, kind of thing. So, Gerard Butler, thumbs up.